Watch till the end to learn how to set up a follow-up sequences within GHL for each lead that helps you convert more leads. Hey guys, I'm Hushin, and I help businesses implement this sort of stuff to save them time and to help make them money. And this video is going to be all about these follow-up sequences, and I'm going to show you one in action and how you can implement it. So follow to the end to learn all of this. So basically, what is a follow-up sequence? Let's go back to basic. Each time a lead responds to you, it's important that you straight away respond to the lead, because responding within 5 minutes of that lead entering your DMs is shown to improve your conversion rate by 400%. And thereon, we want to have a few extra nudges to demonstrate value, to demonstrate trust, to ultimately coax them towards converting as a lead to an actual paying customer. So usually it takes 5 or more touch points for a business to actually convert a lead from the first initial point of engagement. So moving to this next graphic, I just want to demonstrate how speed is super important here. If you can respond straight away, you hold their attention, especially because we live in an attention economy where so many other sources of information are consuming everybody's mental bandwidth. So just bottom line, get back to the lead as soon as possible. And it's important to be persistent, so you have regular touch points, because they're required to build trust and also to remain front of mind with that particular lead. And now the way I'm going to show how to do this is a CRM native way via GoHighLevel specifically. But I also want to bring to your attention that this is possible through the other CRMs you use, HubSpot, ActiveCampaign. You could even do it manually by setting up some automations in no-code tools like Zapier, Make, and N8N. And you could also build a custom coded solution where you could deliver these follow-up sequences more tailored and customized, but there's a bit more of a startup cost and time involved to get that up and running. I'll explain the pros and cons of that a bit later towards the end of this video. So inside GHL, basically what we're going to do is each time a lead engages in an action, we're going to set up some automations that trigger a response, either an instant SMS reply, then 1 day later we have subsequent follow-up SMSs, and then a third follow-up SMS as well. Along this way, this crucial and also huge leverage activities to set up an AI SMS agent that replies instantaneously. Again, targeting that 5-minute reply window straight away so that the lead feels listened to and there's high perceptive value. And ultimately, you convert them through a call to action such as an appointment call booked. So let's go on and describe more of how this AI agent fits in. We actually tailor the settings of the AI agent exactly to match your brand persona, so your personality and goals, and also with your business knowledge, so it knows exactly what it's talking about. And we also connect it with some key actions such as booking an appointment call with you. And you can watch all this information in the common dashboard. So let me go straight ahead and show you how it works, and then we can go ahead and discuss the pros and cons of this method. So basically, this is one of my clients that I have set up this AI SMS agent for. The key details are blurred here just for confidentiality purposes, but let me just go through the exact sequence. At the start, we go to settings on the bottom left, and then we navigate to phone system, and it's best you purchase a number. I've found from my experience that leads are more responsive to SMSs, especially B2C brands, because that's quite an instantaneous form of feedback and response and easily accessible. So first, buy a number. So to buy a number, you click add number, add a phone number. And based on the country you are, I've just set up United States for examples purposes. For United States, it's best to buy a toll-free number so you have unlimited access to talk to anybody in the country. And it's easy to get that SMS send-in compliance, that A2P10 DLC that everybody keeps talking about. So once you've purchased that, you just select one here and click proceed to buy, and it buys it. And then it appears over here. The next trickier part that a lot of people find tricky is to apply for A2P10 DLC compliance. I won't labor too much onto this, but the end result of it is you just got to essentially edit the configuration, make sure that all these settings are exactly what they need to be, and then go into these regulatory bundles. Once everything's set in the regulatory bundles, make sure you go to the Trust Center and start the registration process here. If you'd like to learn more about this, let me know in the comments and I can create another video on that. So once you have an SMS number, the next step is to set up some follow-up sequence touch points. So you go back here and you go to automation, and I want to show you some of the follow-up sequences that we have set up. So each time a lead responds to you, it gets triggered by this workflow gets triggered. So it basically recognizes that a form has been submitted. And in this instance, we've set up the trigger to be a form. We can set up the trigger to be so many bundle of other things, like a contract send or any other custom webhook action. And if you'd like any further help with this, contact me below and we can work together to establish the best trigger for you. Then we connect that event in our opportunity pipeline, which I'll show you a bit later, where you can track where each particular lead is at. From there, we add the necessary tags to that particular lead, so that for our CRM purposes, we can maintain and add follow-up SMS engagements or email engagements for those leads that are tagged a certain particular way. And then we also send an SMS to them. And then we wait a couple of hours, 1 hour in this instance, and then we send another SMS. That's that follow-up lead nurturing sequence I was talking to you about. And then we wait another 4 hours, and then we add them to a different workflow as well, where we follow up with them if it's after 12 p.m. And again, that's just an additional set of follow-up sequences with the intent of converting this lead. And just for completeness sake, I want to explain a few of the nodes here that I skipped at the start. You could update each of those leads positions in the pipeline through this trigger right here. Sorry, this action right here. And the reason I've got 2 branches here is if an opportunity already exists for this lead, then we go down this pathway. If an opportunity doesn't exist for this lead in this particular CRM's ecosystem, then we go through a different pathway to create an opportunity lead. But again, the concept and the intention here is to show you that you can set up these follow-up sequences within GHL to fire at leads who have engaged with you, and we can customize it for your end use case. Just let me know in the comments, and I can go down and explain that in further detail or work directly with you to do that. So as you can see, that's a set of touch points that contacts the leads every so often. And supplementing this, we've set up an AI agent to reply instantaneously to these leads outside of these structured workflows. So I need you to navigate to agents here and then go to conversation AI and then go to agents list, and you will have to create a bot. Once you create a bot, you will have something like this here. And then once you have that, you click on it, and then you set some basic settings here in the bot settings tab. You set a name for the bot, and then you can set it to respond on autopilot, suggestive, or off. I set it on autopilot because the intent for this particular business owner was for the AI SMS agent to handle all the comms for each lead with minimal touch points required for him. And we've set it so that it's active to respond on live chat, SMS, Facebook, Instagram, all of that stuff. And then the other settings we do is we wait 6 seconds before the bot responds, again to emulate a human being, otherwise it sounds a bit suspicious. And then we set up the maximum messages a bot can send to 40, just to make sure that it's still live and all the responses are not stale. And I toggle these on just again because I found that these settings work well. And a key thing here is when a manual message gets sent by the lead, we've set this setting up so that the bot responds only 15 minutes, reactivates only 15 minutes after the last manual message. That means if the actual business owner is responding, he's not interrupted in his flow of communication with the bot. And then the next step from there is to move on to the bot training. And this is where we add a knowledge base. Here in the knowledge base trigger, we set up a particular knowledge base for this bot to interface with. So you could edit it and select a particular knowledge base. And the knowledge base that we've selected is a particular one for Sarah. I'm just going to duplicate this tab and show you exactly what the knowledge base consists of. Essentially what the bot refers to for specific queries to answer for the lead. So go into knowledge base here. This is the knowledge base it's connected to. And we've kept it super simple and only added these FAQs here. So each of these FAQs is how does a review removal process works. And just for context, this particular follow-up lead sequence is for a business that offers review removals across Google, Yelp, and all other sorts of platforms as well. So yeah, FAQs are set. You could even set other things. You could even set up the web crawler to scrape particular websites. You could set up actual text information that adds access to the knowledge base. You could upload some files, all of that stuff. But this wasn't needed for this particular use. Now moving forward, the next step is the bot goals. And in the bot goals, you set the GPT recommendation. This is the intelligence that collects all information together to answer the leads. It's best to select ChatGPT, OpenAI GPT-5 for the best responses. We've gone with 4.1 because we know this kind of setting works well and we didn't want to mess with a working solution. But generally just go with the latest GPT solution that works. And then you add a bot personality here of what you want the tone of that particular bot to sound like. And you could leverage AI here to go back and forth with ChatGPT or Claude within the web user interface and come up with something that works for you. Then you got to set up a bunch of goals here. And the goals are essentially, what is this bot tailored to do? Here, the bot is tailored to either book an appointment with the lead with the business owner, or to send the lead a contract for them to sign. And then we set up additional information about this particular business. And then linked with this, we've set up booking calendar so that each time the lead expresses an intent for a particular service, we can book them with a calendar that's attached here. And that's the name of the calendar. And we can also trigger a workflow. So here, this particular mode, you put a name and then you list a workflow here, and you explain the circumstances under which that particular workflow is triggered, and it automatically triggers that. And that's all you need to do to set up your bot as well. So if you have a SMS number that's working, this will automatically respond to lead that way. And if you've connected your Instagram, your WhatsApp, your Facebook, and your live chat to this particular GHL account, it'll respond live there as well. So if you go into the conversations tab, you can see that firstly, these follow-up automation sequences are firing here, again, giving that high perceptive value for each lead. And you could also see that the bot is responding automatically here. For this particular lead, hey there, this bot automatically responded within 6 seconds. You could see 9:18, 9:19 a.m. Are you interested in a Google review or anything like that? I want a Yelp review, and it gave a customized response that's acting 24/7 without action required from that particular business owner. And all these leads are the same sort of story that are being serviced by this bot autonomously without any custom action required from the business owner. And we're achieving that multiple 5+ touch points with that AI SMS agent working well. Before I navigate away, just to explain key things that might be helpful, navigate to settings, that bottom gear icon that when you go into integration, you could integrate your Facebook account, your Google Calendar, your WhatsApp, and all those things within GHL that will help you leverage this AI SMS powered bot to respond to all sorts of leads. And we've done the same here. Specifically, it's live chat and SMS that we are getting this chatbot to respond to. But again, you could set it to respond to all other communication channels as well. So going back to the actual diagram I wanted to go over, the pros of this is you can get this live in days, not weeks. Essentially within 1 day of opening your GHL account for $97 per month, get it up and running. And your team has a visibility of that conversations pane that I showed you. It's all in one place. And it's a flat, predictable cost of $97 per month, plus a few cents for each time that AI bot is triggered, because it uses those LLM tokens there. And this is a rolled out solution that has worked with multiple different clients. Now, the cons here is you can't customize it as well as you can because it's a standardized package. So you just got to go with that. And if your needs are just basically to have follow-up sequence touch points with leads every so often, this does the job. And you have to ensure that you prime and prompt the AI agent to respond exactly how you want. And this can be a bit fiddly, going back and forth with different prompts to get the actual output that you want from it as tailored to your vision as possible. It's locked inside the walls of the CRM. However, there are other workarounds that you can use to connect with things such as webhook calls and API calls. And you can only choose the AI models that GHL offers. And if you leave the CRM, you lose the AI agent capabilities there. Now, the other thing that I wanted to show you is if you went down the custom coded sequence, let's say if you built it with Claude Code, the pros here is you have no ceiling on logic. You can book it. You can set up these follow-up sequences exactly how you want. You can set up the user interface exactly how you want. You can enforce more guardrails via code so that the end output reflects exactly the vision you want in terms of how you'd respond to your customers. You could reach any systems with an API. Just more customization. That's the biggest win here. And you can pick and swap your AI models without restriction, and you own all the infrastructure outright. And the only con here mainly, it takes a bit more time and investment. It's not impossible, especially now with Claude Code and all these coding assistant tools being real powerful. You could set it up within a week or two, but it's just a bit more involved, and you need someone to actually monitor it and tweak codes if necessary. And you could do that yourself, but it's just a bit more time involved. And yeah, you just own the failure. You have to make sure it's hosted well, and all the other requisite platforms that connect with custom coded sequences are working well. And if you scale, you just got to make sure that all the plumbing of this particular custom coded sequence works well. But definitely doable. More, the win here is more customized. It's just a bit harder to set up live. So yeah, that's honestly a run through of everything to set up your own live lead follow-up sequences within GoHighLevel, and I've explained the benefits of using another solution such as Claude Code for a custom coded solution. Let me know your thoughts. I'd love to answer it, work with you to have these lead follow-up sequences set up for your business or anything else in the realm of AI automation to help you save time, make money. So let me know. Thank you. I hope to see you soon. Bye.